So far, everything we've done to edit code, we've done in Notepad or some simple editor. And that will always work. You can use any editor you want, but we're going to use a better one. We're going to use Visual Studio Code, which is also free. So you go to your browser and you enter code.visualstudio.com, just like this. Hit return. And then click on Download for Windows. Download will happen the same way as usual. See the meter in the upper right. When it's done, open the installer with the arrow. Once it's running, decide if you want to accept the agreement. Click Next. It shows you the settings. You don't need to change any of these. And eventually, you'll start the actual installation. This doesn't take terribly long. Once it's done, you can get an offer to start Visual Studio Code. We'll go ahead and take that offer. Just a moment, we'll be there soon. Okay, so here it's offering to launch Visual Studio Code. We're going to go ahead and let it do that. Once it opens, it should look like this. If you don't see these two blue buttons on the left, click on these two pages in the upper left until you do. Either way, in the middle of the screen, open a folder. We're going to open the folder that had our original .NET Hello World program in it, .NET HW. So select the folder. Visual Studio Code will open your folder. Click on your program file, program.cs. Visual Studio Code will see very quickly it's a C# program, and it'll offer to install some C# support modules. You want to accept that offer. Wait a little while. It'll say installing here on a light blue rectangle. Eventually that'll turn a dark blue, and that'll let you know it's done. Be patient. There we go. Click on the tab for your program file again. And let's make a change. It's always a good idea to change a program before compiling it again. Test it. Make sure you're not running an old version by mistake. Once you've made your change, hold down the Control and the Shift keys and press the letter P. In the text box, type debug, select, and start debugging. It's actually debug : Mine's at the top because I used it once already. Go ahead and click on that. Click on C#.NET HW, and your program should compile. And if you look down here in the bottom, get a bunch of informative information, but the output's in blue, and that proves that it actually ran. Now, that Control-Shift-P is something you really only have to do the first time. So we'll change our program again with the word again. Make sure that you've got File Autosave selected so that every time you change your code, it'll be automatically saved. And then just press F5 when you've got your cursor in the editor window, and that'll compile and run it again. And here's our changed output, so things are working fine. Visual Studio Code can be a bit cranky, so you might have to try this a couple of times, but eventually it will work. Just keep at it.